Good morning, all of you. So in this class, we are going to discuss about second part of the combinatorics third unit. So that is number theory. Okay. So number theory. We denote the set of positive integers by n and the set of integers by z. So set of n represents natural number set. Natural number set starts with 1, 2, 3 and so on infinity, and the set of integers by z, we denote set of integers by z, and or I, capital I is also representation of integer set. Okay. So and the set of integers by z, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and z is equal to positive integers and negative integers, minus infinity to plus infinity, minus infinity, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So the properties of integers with addition and multiplication are given below. So we already discussed these properties in introduction of group theory. So once again I repeat these properties here. So closure. What is closure property? Any two elements belongs to, for a comma b belongs to z. Here z represents a set of integers. The addition of these two elements a plus b belongs to z and a into b belongs to z. Addition of these integers and also multiplication of these integers belongs to that given set, then that set satisfies the closure property. Okay. So associative. For a comma b comma c belongs to z, a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c. With the under multiplication, a into bc is equal to a into b into c. So we consider three elements a, b, c in the set, integer set. So these elements satisfies the property a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c. With respect to multiplication, a into bc is equal to a into b into c. Then we say that the given set integer set satisfies the associative property. Okay. So identity element in given set. For a belongs to z, the identity element of a is the condition. So what is the property for a? A plus 0 is equal to a plus 0 is equal to a, and a into 1 is equal to a. Here 0 is called additive identity element and 1 is called multiplicative identity element, because the condition is a plus b is equal to a plus e is equal to a. Here e represents 0 and e is equal to 1. 0 and 1 are two identity elements. 0 is the identity element with respect to addition and 1 is the identity element with respect to multiplication. Okay, na? So what is the property for identity element in given set? A in plus e is equal to a and a into e is equal to a. With respect to addition, e value is equal to 0 and with respect to multiplication, e value is equal to 1. Okay. So it is given here. Here 0 is called additive identity and 1 is called multiplicative identity. Okay. So next one, additive inverse. So what is additive inverse? For a belongs to z, a be an element in integer set, there exists an element minus a belongs to z. Means minus a is also an element in z such that the addition of these two elements a plus minus a is equal to 0. So here 0 represents the identity element. So means a plus b is equal to e, or that is equal to minus a plus a. When then we say that minus a is called inverse element of a. So a plus b is equal to, when two elements are added that gives the identity element, then that element is called inverse element of a. Okay. So here minus a is the additive inverse of a. Okay. Next, commutative property. For a comma b belongs to z, a plus b is equal to b plus a. AB is equal to ba. For a comma b belongs to z, a plus b is equal to b plus a. AB is equal to BA. This satisfies these two properties. Then the given set is satisfied commutative property. Okay. So distributive. So what is distributive property? For A comma B comma C are the elements in the integer set, then A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC. A distribute with inside the bracket A into B, AB plus AC, or A plus B into C is equal to AC plus BC. These two properties are called distributive property. Next one, cancellation law. So for elements A comma B comma C belongs to Z, A, B, C are the elements in the integer set Z, then AB is equal to AC, then B is equal to C. It is called left cancellation law. Left cancellation law, and BA is equal to CA. Then B is equal to C. BA is equal to CA. Then B is equal to C. So right cancellation law. Okay. These are called properties of integers with addition and multiplication. Okay. So next one, well ordering principle. Well ordering principle. Every non-empty subset of non-negative integers has a least element. Every non-empty subset, subset means non-empty subset means that set contains an element. Okay, non-empty subset of non-negative integer set. So here the given set is non-negative integers means positive integers. So positive integers ki subset ayyundi oka set, every non-empty subset of non-negative integers has a least element. Subset of positive integers has a least element. That is called well ordering principle. Okay. If S is a non-empty subset of non-negative integers, then there exists a positive n integer n such that the condition is n less than or equal to m for all m belongs to S. So here S is a non-empty subset of non-negative integer set. Then there exists a positive integer n such that the relation, the condition is n less than or equal to m for all m belongs to S. Okay. So n is the here least element in non-empty subset of positive integer set. So the condition shows here n less than or equal to m. Here n and m both are the elements of S, but n is the least element when compared with other elements in S. That is called well ordering principle. Okay. So theorem, let A comma B are two positive integers, then there exists a positive integer n such that B less than Na. So what is the statement? A comma B are two positive integers, then there exists a positive integer n such that B less than Na. So it satisfies the condition B less than Na. Then there exists a positive integer n. Okay. So for this statement, we have to take contradiction to this statement. We prove this by contradiction. The contradiction statement is, suppose that B greater than or equal to Na. B greater than or equal to Na. So means let S is equal to, we define a set, let S is equal to B minus Na. So that set S contains the element B minus Na such that n is a positive integer. N is a positive integer. So clearly S is non-empty set, because that non-empty set, since B minus A is equal to, n is a positive integer and B minus, in place of n least element 1 into A, so B minus A. So B minus A is equal to, we can write this B minus 1 into A. That element belongs to S, because this set containing the element form B minus Na. So here S is a non-empty set and the set contain the element B minus A. Why? Because that element can be written B minus 1 into A. This is of the form B minus Na. So B minus A is an element in the set S. That's why S is a non-empty set. Okay. By well ordering principle, a non-empty subset of positive integer has the least element. Here S is a non-empty subset of positive integer set. So S has a least element. That least element మనం ఏమనుకుంటున్నామంటే say b minus ta. So S has a least element. That element b minus ta. Being b minus ta, t will be greater than 0. So t be the positive integer. If t greater than 0, t plus 1 also greater than 0. Okay, t is greater than 0, t plus 1 is also greater than 0. That implies we apply here. So b minus with the t plus n, t minus a b minus t plus 1 into a belongs to S, because this is of the form b minus na. Here n is equal to t plus a. Okay, so b minus t plus 1 into a belongs to S. So now b minus ta is the least element of S. So here first element we consider b minus a, and S has the least element b minus ta. So we have to prove that b minus ta is the least element. So for next element is b minus t plus 1 into a. We compare these two elements and we have to show this is the least element. So b minus ta less than or equal to b minus into t plus 1 into a. So b minus ta, so these elements left side, minus b plus t into a ta minus becomes plus a less than or equal to 0. So all will be cancelled and remaining a less than or equal to 0. But here a less than not equal to 0, a greater than 0, a be the positive number. So which is contradiction to a positive integer. Because ఈ contradiction ఎందుకు వచ్చింది అంటే మనం ఇక్కడ we prove suppose that b greater than or equal to na అనే కండిషన్ కన్సిడర్ చేసాం కాబట్టి మనకి కాంట్రడిక్షన్ వచ్చింది. ఆ కాంట్రడిక్షన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏంటి? a less than or equal to 0. So from this we say that our assumption b greater than or equal to na is wrong. So from this we write b less than na. So b greater than or equal to na is wrong statement. Then from that we write b less than na. Okay, this is the proof of given statement. So next one, divisibility. So let a comma b are two integers. We say that a divides b if there exists an integer x such that b is equal to ax. So let a comma b are two integers. We say that a divides b if there exists an integer x such that the condition is b is equal to ax. b is equal to ax. So for example, 2 divides 4. This can be written like 4 by 2. Okay, 2 divides 4 means 4 by 2. So here 2 divides 4 because 4 can be expressed in like ax form. So 2 into 2. Okay, and 3 divides 6 because 6 is equal to 6 can be expressed in 2 into 3. So this is called divisibility. And next one, division theorem. Division theorem. So statement of division theorem is let a comma b are two integers b greater than 0. Then there exist unique integers q comma r such that a is equal to bq plus r. So here r is in between 0 to b. So 0 less than or equal to r less than b. So let a comma b are two integers. B greater than 0 means b is an integer, positive integer. Then there exists unique integer q comma r such that the condition is a is equal to bq plus r. So here r is in between 0 to b. So proof. So here we consider infinite sequence of multiples of b. Infinite sequence of multiples of b, that is minus 2b, minus b, 0b and so on 2b. Here we consider multiples of b. That's why minus 2b, minus b, 0b, 2b and so on. That is, A is equal to one of multiples of B. Say QB for some Q belongs to Z. So or A lies between QB less than or equal to A less than Q plus 1 into B. By divisibility condition, we take this statement A is equal to one of multiple of B. Say QB for some Q belongs to Z. So here Q is an element in integer set. Or in another way, A lies between QB less than or equal to A less than Q plus 1 into B for some Q. Okay. So QB less than or equal to A less than Q into B QB plus B. So we adding minus QB on both sides, we get QB minus QB less than or equal to A minus QB less than QB plus B minus QB. So QB cancel. Here it becomes 0 less than or equal to A minus QB less than B. So for convenience, let A minus QB is equal to R. A minus QB is equal to R. This R lies between 0 to B. So 0 less than or equal to R less than B. Let A is equal to A minus. So A, we take A. A can be expressed like A minus QB plus QB without changing the value. Okay. We consider here A element. A can be expressed A minus QB. Minus QB add చేస్తున్నాము. QB ని add చేస్తున్నాము, subtract చేస్తున్నాము. A minus QB plus QB. Okay. So A minus QB value is equal to R. So R plus QR. So from that we write this A is equal to QB plus R. A is equal to QB plus R. Okay. So here we need to prove uniqueness also. So for uniqueness, suppose that there exists Q1 R1, Q2 R2 belongs to Z. So these are the elements in integers such that A is equal to Q1B plus R1, A is equal to Q2B plus R2, 0 less than or equal to R1 less than B, 0 less than or equal to R2 less than B. Okay. So Q1B plus R1 is equal to Q2B plus R2. Q1B plus R1 is equal to Q2B plus R2. So from this we write Q1B minus Q2B is equal to R2 minus R1. So here B will be common and remaining Q1 minus Q2 is equal to R2 minus R1. So this can be written like Q1 minus Q2 is equal to R2 minus R1 by B. Okay. So R2 minus R1 by B can be written like if we already discussed divisibility. So 2 divides 4 means 4 by 2. So like that R2 minus R1 by B can be represented by B divides R2 minus R1, which is contradiction to R1 less than B1, R2 less than B2. So here the condition is R1 less than B, R2 less than B. So the here it given B divides R2 minus R1, means here the numerator value is small when compared with the denominator. So this is not, which is contradiction. So because this contradiction exists, because of we take here Q1 R1 Q2 R2 are different elements in Z, but these are equal elements. Q1 is equal to Q2 and R1 is equal to R2. So it proves the uniqueness of the element. Okay, it proves the uniqueness of the element. So this is called division theorem. So next topic, GCD or greatest common divisor. GCD or greatest common divisor. So the largest positive integer that divides both a comma b is called GCD of a comma b. So what is greatest common divisor? The largest positive integer that divides both integers a comma b is called greatest common divisor of those two elements that are a comma b. So for example, GCD of 12 comma 14. So first we write divisors of 12. Divisors of 12. So what are the divisors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 itself. These are the divisors of 12. Okay. Next we write divisors of 14. So the divisors for 14 is 1, 2, 7, 14. 1, 2, 7, 14. Okay. So in these two numbers, common divisors are 1, 2. Common divisors are 1, 2. First we write common divisors. 1, 2, and then we write greatest common divisor, and then we write greatest common divisor. So in these two elements, what is the greatest common divisor? 2. So the greatest common divisor of 12 comma 14 is 2. So what is the definition for greatest common divisor? The largest positive integers that divides both a comma b is called greatest common divisor. Okay. So here it is the example for greatest common divisor. So the important note point here it is, if greatest common divisor of a comma b is equal to 1, then a comma b are called relatively prime numbers. So the greatest common divisors of any two numbers is equal to 1, then the two numbers is called relatively prime numbers. Then the two numbers is called relatively prime numbers or co-prime numbers. Relatively prime numbers are co-prime numbers. Okay. So problem, find the greatest common divisor of 42,823 and 6,409. Okay. These are the two numbers given, 42,823 and 6,409. So we use to find greatest common divisor with division. So first we divide 6,409 by 42,823. So 6,409 into 6 times is equal to 38,454. The remainder is 4,369. This is 4,369 divide 6,409 in one time. So see 4,369. The remainder is 2,040. So 2,040 divides 4,369 in two times. So we get the remainder 289. So 289 divides 2040 7 times. So 2023. So we get the remainder 17. 17 divides 289 by 17 times. So 17 into 17 is equal to 289. We get the remainder 0. So the greatest common divisor of given two numbers 42,823 and 6,409 is 17. So which number is completely divides the number? That number is common divisor of given two numbers. So here 17 divides completely, means it gives the remainder 0. So here 17 is the greatest common divisor of 42,823 and 6,409. So answer is 17. In this way we find the greatest common divisor for big numbers. Okay. Euclidean algorithm. Next one, Euclidean algorithm. When a comma b are two integers, a greater than b greater than 0, means a and b are positive integers. If r1 is the remainder when a is divided by b. So here r1 is the remainder when a is divided by b. r2 is the remainder when b is divided by r1, and so on. So rn plus 1 less than 0. The last non-zero remainder is called GCD of A comma B. So what is Euclidean algorithm? When A comma B are two integers, A and B are two positive numbers. If R1 is the remainder when A is divided by B, means here we in this example A, B are two positive integers and A divides B, we get the remainder R1, that is 4369. So when A is divided by R2 is the remainder when B is divided by R1. So here B is 6409, okay, divided by R1 4369. So it gives the remainder 2040. And so on. Rn plus 1, this is equal to 17. Rn plus 1 less than 0. The last non-zero remainder is called GCD of A comma B. This is called Euclidean algorithm. Okay. So proof of Euclidean algorithm. Apply division theorem for A comma B. What is the division theorem? There exist two non-zero elements, non-positive integers q1, r1 belongs to z such that A is equal to, this is division theorem statement, b q1 plus r1. So here r1 is lies between 0 less than or equal to r1 less than b. Apply division theorem for b comma r1. Again apply division theorem for b comma r1. So there exists q2 comma r2 belongs to z such that now b is equal to q2 r1 plus r2. q2 r1 plus r2. So 0 less than or equal to r2 less than r1. So again apply division theorem for r1 r2. So again apply division theorem for R1, R2. There exists Q3, R3 belongs to Z such that R1 is equal to Q3, R2 plus R3. So you all are know here R1 is divisor and Q is the quotient and R is the remainder. Here R1 is the dividend. Q3 is the divisor and R3 is the remainder. So from this is called division theorem. So we are applying division theorem repeatedly until a finite number of steps. Rn is equal to Qn plus 2, Rn plus 1 plus Rn plus 2. So 0 less than or equal to Rn plus 1 less than Rn. Okay, we get Rn plus 2 is equal to 0 until we get the remainder 0. We repeat the division theorem. Finally, we get the Rn plus 2 is equal to 0. So the last non-zero remainder. So the last non-zero remainder is called GCD of A comma B. So because GCD of A comma B is equal to greatest common divisor of two elements A comma B, that is equal to greatest common divisor of B comma remainder R1, that is equal to greatest common divisor of R1 comma R2, that is equal to GCD Rn comma 0. So here this is remainder. So at Rn comma 0. Okay, this is called Euclidean algorithm. Euclidean algorithm. Okay. So GCD of A comma B can be expressed as linear combination of A comma B. That is, there exist two integers u, v belongs to z such that GCD of A comma B is equal to AU plus BV. Condition GCD of A comma B can be expressed AU plus BV. AU plus BV. So what is that here? GCD of A comma B can be expressed as a linear combination of A comma B. Expressed as a linear combination of A comma B. That is, there exist two integers A comma V belongs to Z such that GCD of A comma B is equal to AU plus BV. This is the condition we are using in solving problems. So GCD of A comma B is equal to AU plus BV. So problem on this Euclidean algorithm. Find the integers u comma v such that GCD of 615 comma 1080, that is equal to, here it is given 615u plus 1080v. So first we find GCD of 615 and 1080. So 615 1080. So 615 1 times 615, remainder is 465, and 416 is divided by 615, that is equal to 150 is the remainder here, and 150 divides 465, and here we get the remainder 15, and 15 divides 150 and we get remainder 0. So at 15 we get the remainder 0. Then the common divisor, greatest common divisor of these two integers 615 and 1080 is equal to 15. 1080 is equal to 15. Okay. So here in this division algorithm, we write the linear combination equation. So here by division algorithm, 1080 can be expressed in 1 into 65 plus 465. 1 quotient 1 into 615 plus 465. Let it be equation 1. In next division, 615 can be expressed 1 into 465 plus 150. 1 into 465 plus 150. Let it be equation 2. In third division, 465 can be expressed in as 3 into 450. Sorry, 3 into 150. 3 into 150 plus 15. Remainder. Next, 150 can be expressed in terms of 10 into 15 plus 0. 10 into 15 plus 0. Let it be equation 4. So consider the equation 15 is equal to 465 minus 150 into 3. From equation 3, we consider this equation from equation 3. So 15 is equal to 465 minus 150 into 3. Okay. So 15 is equal to 465 minus 3 into 150 can be expressed in terms of from second equation 615 minus 465 into 1. So 615 minus 465 into 1. Okay. So 465 minus 3 to multiplication is 3 into 615 minus into minus plus 3 into 465. So here 1 465 plus 3, 1 plus 4, 3 4. So 465 into 4 minus 3 into 615. Okay. So 15 is equal to 4 into 465 can be expressed in terms of 1080 minus 1 into 615. Okay. So 15 is equal to 4 into 1080 minus here 1 615 3 615s 1 plus 3 4 4 into 615 minus 3 into 615 total 4 4 plus 3 7 minus 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 7 615. Okay, 15 is equal to 615 into minus 7 plus 1000 into 4. So which is in the form 615u plus 1080v. So here u is equal to minus 7 and v is equal to 4. So here it is given. We have to find the u and v values using Euclidean algorithm and division theorem. So the given integers 615 and 180 is a linear combination of 15 is equal to 615 into minus 7 plus 1080 into 4. So here u is equal to minus 7 and v is equal to 4. Okay.